This is Matthew 27 and 62 in the Hebrew. Read.
On the morrow of the Passover, the chief priests and the Pharisees came to Pilate. They said to him, Sir, we remember that this liar said while still alive, that at the end of 3 days he would arise and come to life.
That's all we need. Read 62 one more time.
On the morrow of the Passover, the chief priests and the Pharisees came to Pilate.
We have two different words in Hebrew for morrow. We have two Hebrew words for morrow. Can you click on the two other tabs? It should be the study light tab. Do the study light tab first.
Okay.
We have two Hebrew words for morrow. One is bakar. When I text y'all, bakar tawab, good morning. So bakar, B-A-Q-A-R, is one word that we use for morning. Can y'all see it on the screen? Oh, I didn't type it in. I'm sorry, Salakia.
He's got it.
It's in there.
You got me there?
Yeah.
All right, so I'm gonna pull up the word. Type in morrow. Hit enter. What you get, Op?
I got the Strong's numbering,
Okay.
which was
Can you read that? Can y'all see that? Can you read it?
yeah, I can read it.
You can do this at home. Just go to study light, put in morrow, and definitions come up. Read it.
All right, for this one it says every morning, morrow, tomorrow morning, dawn, day, mornings, days, soon, morning, daybreak, early.
So the one word, and we're going to find some other witnesses in our scrolls. Most times when the Hebrews say morrow, he's going to say bakar. But there's another word we use too. It's called makaraf. Can you give me another search tab? Makaraf is from the word makar.
It's right there.
Oh, you see it?
This one here.
So the other word we use sometimes for morrow is makar, and it's makarat or makaraf. Makar or makaraf. Is it up there, Op?
Yeah, it's up here.
Family online, is the screen still sharing?
Yes.
All praise, all praises. Can you read the definition for makar or makaraf?
Later, tomorrow, time to come.
So both of our words for morrow, bakar or makaraf, is tomorrow, the morning. So now let's read verse 62 and put that in there. Verse 62 should read, on the morrow of Passover. On the morrow of Passover, or in the morning of Passover. On the morrow of Passover, or the morning of Passover. How can they be crucifying Yeshua on Passover, and they're coming to Pilate on the morning of Passover, saying, put a guard at the tomb. Put a guard at the tomb. So again, I didn't want to assume anything. I says, okay, let's take this one step further. I says, well, let's do this. Let's get some more usage for the word morrow. Did you pull up morrow in the Blue Letter Bible? The Blue Letter Bible is another tool, but it's really, the Blue Letter Bible and the studylight.org is based on the same man. It's based on Brenner, and it's based on what's that one you got? Briggs. So both of these lexicons is really based on the same research. Blue Letter Bible is based on Genesis, or whatever, and the Study Light is based on Briggs and Brenner. So let's get this again. Let's be Bereans and pull it up in the on Blue Letter Bible. You got it?
Yeah, 26 and 2, right?
You can just any word that has marble in it. Now I gotta tape it in there again.
No, it's
Oh, you got the verse? Okay.
What scripture was that?
27 and 62.
27 and 62. Okay, I get it.
So we're gonna put just to use Blue Letter as another witness, but they use the same lexicons. They use the same lexicons. a lot.
On the morrow, I thought
2762.
27.
2762.
Okay, you might have to type it in. There's a break
Skipping?
in here.
See how these devils do?
Yeah, there's a break.
So I just do this. Give me, put me up in the search bar.
Yeah, you in there.
And all the scriptures with marble will come up. And it don't matter. You just click on one of the couple of scriptures.
You want it in the New Testament or the Old?
Yeah, we can use it to the new.
Okay.
Well, the new is going to be based on the Greek. Go to the old.
Old, okay.
Because Yeshua or none of them spoke Greek.
Okay. Alright, so where we go?
And scroll down to Marbo.
And it's Makarah.
Makarah. What the Makarah means?
The morrow, the day after.
Marbo, the day after the day. So I wanted to be sure that it's not saying the day after Passover. I said, because you can interpret that like they're saying on the morrow of Passover, meaning the day after Passover. So let's see if we can get some deeper understanding. Let's go to Joshua 5:11. Let's go to Joshua 5:11. Joshua chapter 5, verse 11. Joshua 5, verse 11.
Five 11.
5:11.
Alright.
Shema, we have it.
Shema.
Can you read it out?
Yes. And they did, excuse me, and they did eat of the old corn of the land on the morrow after the Passover.
The morrow after Passover. So what we're going to run down just a few witnesses. If it was after Passover, Matthew would have said the morrow after Passover. But the contrast, he says morrow of Passover. So right here you see, if they're talking about after, the day after, they would have used after, the morrow after Passover. Let's get a couple more witnesses. Let's go to Exodus 32:6. Let's go to Exodus 32:6.
In context, morrow in that verse is Makarah.
Makarah. So it's two words we use for morrow. Makarah or bakar. This is Exodus 32:6. Shema, when you have it. Shema.
Shema.
Exodus 32:6. Read.
And they rose up early on the morrow and offered burnt offerings and brought peace offerings, and the people sat down to eat and drink and rose up to play.
So we can clearly see they're here referring to morrow in the morning. They're referring to morrow in the morning. And they rose up early on the morrow. So if we read Matthew 27:62 in proper context like in Hebrew, on the morrow of Passover, they're coming to Pilate. You can't be crucifying Yeshua, then actually put guards in front of the tombs too.
And in this verse, it's Makar.
And this is, they use a makar. Let's get just two more witnesses. Let's get a couple more. Let's get Leviticus 22:30. Leviticus 22:30. I'm sorry, let's go. Yeah, that's what I want. Leviticus 22:30. Leviticus 22, verse 30. Shema.
Shema.
Read.
On the same day it shall be eaten up. You shall leave none of it until the morrow. I am Yahweh.
Again, you can see most times morrow is meaning in the morning. Most times morrow is being used in the morning. So you should not leave none of it to the morrow, the bakar. So Matthew 27:62, they came to Pilate on the morrow of Passover, on the morning of Passover. Let's get one more, or two more. Go over to Leviticus 23 and 15.
Now,
Go
I'm
ahead.
going to say in this one, on the morrow, there's a different
Which one they use here?
occur.
Bakar. So when I text you up Bakar Tawab or Tawab, I'm saying good morning. Bakar is the rising. When you look at the letters, that's why we use the pictures. You got Ba, the tent floor. The Kwa is the sun on his horizon is rising. The Ra is the head or first. The sun is rising over the house first thing. Bakar. That's why we forsake the Yiddish, because you can't understand what the Yiddish is meaning. And sounds has a difference. Sounds has a difference in Hebrew. That's why when we go over the name Jesus, we're going to run it down. Sounds mean something to us.
That's right.
How many of you want your lover calling you by Stanley? It's going to be smoke in the city. My wife called to me, hey, I made this for you, Stanley. Like, what? What are you talking about? So if we're carnal people and we're jealous, it says our Elohim is a jealous Elohim. And you calling him Jesus, it's not his name. But that's later on. But most times when we use morning, it's Bakar, the rising of the sun first thing. First thing. Let's get two more, Leviticus 23 and 15. Leviticus 23 and 15.
Shema.
Shema.
Read.
And ye shall count unto you from the morrow after the Sabbath, from the day that ye brought the sheaf of the wave offering, 7 Sabbaths shall be complete.
So I pulled this one to again show the contrast. If it was the morrow after Passover, it would have said it. Because we do have scrolls we just read morrow after, but this verse in Matthew say the morrow of. The morrow of. We're going to go over that of in a minute.
And that verse is Makarah.
Makaroth again. So depending on who translated this scroll, we don't know actually what he spoke because we wasn't there. He could have said Bakar, he could have said Makarah, but whoever wrote this scroll used Makarah here. It doesn't matter because we went over the definition. Makarah or Bakar is always the morrow, morning, the morrow.
I thought Makarah was tomorrow.
Tomorrow. And we got scrolls that says tomorrow. Tomorrow. So if it was the next day after Passover, he would have said, and tomorrow of the Passover, or the day after Passover. He didn't say tomorrow of the Passover. He said morrow of Passover. Morrow of Passover. So again, Makarat can be used as tomorrow, but tomorrow is designating another time frame. Tomorrow and morrow is not the same designation. So let's get one more. Let's get Numbers 33. Let's get Numbers 33. Let's get Numbers 33. And even with these definitions, these lexicons were made by non-Israelites. So we still got to filter these lexicons. We can't hold true to all these lexicons because Matthew Brenner says in his lexicon, Barak means to kneel down. So when we say Barak bless you, he's saying, and his definition is, and the Most High is going to kneel down to give us a gift. Why would our Father kneel down to his creation? You got to filter all the information. The Most High ain't going to kneel down to us and give us no gift.
That's right.
Barak means to increase someone. Barak, to create or increase. And the Ka, you. Barak, you. In the beginning, Yah created. He bara heaven and earth. He created heaven and earth. So when we say Barak, Yah ain't kneeling down to us. What foolish? But again, we use the information. You got to filter it. So these definitions, lexicons, still don't hold too much weight with me. I got to get the context of my scroll, my history, of my culture. Con. So I open 2 and see it.
33 and 1.
3, I believe.
33 and 3, I think.
Yeah. Because I pulled up.
Okay, yeah, I got this. Mark it. This is Numbers 33 and 3. Read.
And they departed from Ramses In the first month of the 15th day of the first month, on the morrow after the Passover, the children of Israel went out with the high hand in the sight of all Egyptians.
This is another concrete proof that if he meant the morrow after Passover, a Hebrew would have said the morrow after Passover. Just for clarity and thoroughness, what word did he use there for morrow?
Makarath.
Makarath. So that led me to think. I said, all right, we can't assume anything. Can you pull up another tab and get me up in the search? So now let's search the. We're going to search the etymology of the word, the preposition of. The preposition of. Let's get the etymology of that. I'm up there.
Yeah, you there.
We come up.
Etymology. Oh, you want to go to a website?
Like, yeah, give me up in the search bar.
Oh, tab, I'm sorry.
We're going to search the etymology of the preposition of.
Okay, you're there.
Did I spell it right? Etymology of the word of?
Of.
All right, let's see what comes up. This is the etymology of the preposition of. I searched for it earlier. It should be. So you can see I clicked on it here. Go to that first one. No, I'm sorry. Go back out. Yeah, scroll that. Click that down arrow because I just checked it out earlier. There we go. So hopefully you can see this online. Let's read the etymology and uses of the preposition of. Can you see it?
Yeah, I'm just blowing it up so it's bigger.
So and you don't see anything, Elder? This technology, y'all. I'm gonna have to stop and share it again. Stop sharing and share it again. This technology. This technology is a blessing and a curse.
Alright, so I stopped it, but the Zoom browser went away. You have to drag it over.
Is it up top?
No. I think it's on your monitor.
That's an A.
Yeah, that's A. A is for what?
A for apple.
Good boy.
All praises. Did it come back up?
Yes.
Daddy,
Elder, did it come back up?
for apple.
Good boy.
Yes, I can see it now.
Okay, all praises. So now we're going to read the etymology and the usage for the preposition of. Of. Read out.
The first definition, expressing the relationship between a part and a whole. The sleeve of his coat. Definition 2, expressing the relationship between a scale or measure and a value, an increase of 5%, or expressing an age, a boy of 15. Third definition, indicating an association between two entities, typically one of belonging.
Belonging. When we use the preposition of, it's used to show relationship of belonging. We are the children of.
Yeshua.
Daddy.
Yahuwah.
We are the. Let's try this again.
I'm sorry.
We are the children of
Yahuwah.
or Israel. This is the bond or son of Rashim. I'm the husband of Regina. So when you use the preposition of, it's showing a connection of belonging to. So even with the dirty English, by their own rules, you can't change the rules in the middle of the game. So even with their dirty language, English, Latin, it's the morrow of Passover. That morrow has to belong to Passover. So they're coming to him on the morning of Passover. That morning belongs to Passover. Can you finish that up?
Yeah. definition, number 3B, expressing the relationship between an author, artist, or composer and their works collectively, the plays of Shakespeare.
It's the same thing. Y'all can do this one. It's the same thing. For the sake of time, it's the same thing. So we showed you the verses. If he really wanted to say the morrow or the day after Passover, that verse would have said, Matthew 27:62 would have said the morrow after Passover. It says the morrow of Passover, meaning that Bakar or that Makarat belongs to Passover. They're coming to Pilate on the morning of Passover saying, put a guard at the door. Now to bring this home, we're just going to do simple math. We're going to do simple math to bring this home. Once we establish our Sabbath count, it's a math game and it's over. You don't have to worry about when a day starts, when it's something. No, it's just math. So let's segue into our Sabbath count.
Take it down.
Take it right down.
I got it.
So let's get our Sabbath rhythm, and this is what I was trying to say. I wasn't trying to get into last week because I wanted to save this for later, but you Bereans y'all just hungry hippo for information. So let's get our Sabbath account, and once we establish our Sabbath, it's case closed. It's case closed. So first, let's go back to the Mark to verify that the Sabbath is ending. Let's go back to Mark 15, I think it is. Or Mark 16. Mark 16. Mark 16:1. Shemai, you have it?
Shemai.
15 and 1.
15 and 1.
No, I'm at 16:1. 1 and 2.
1 and 2, okay.
Yeah, 16, 1 and 2.
16 and 2, okay. Shema.
Shemai,
Shemai.
read.
And when the Sabbath was passed, Mary Magdalene and Mary the mother of James and Salome had brought sweet spices that they might come and anoint him. And very early in the morning, the first day of the week, they came unto the sepulchre at the rising of the sun.
So we don't have to split hairs about when the day starts, but we will go over it later if you need to be. But we know now a new week has started. The Sabbath is over and a new week has started. So now once you learn our Sabbath rhythm, it's easy to see. It's 13 plus 3 is 16. A new week for us starts on the 16th. Right now, we're telling you our Sabbath rhythm is the 8th of the month, the 15th of the month, the 22nd, and the 29th. So if the Sabbath is the 15th, the beginning of the next week is the 16th. So if the beginning of the next week is the 16th, 16 minus 3 is what?
13.
All day. All day. So now let's verify our Sabbath rhythm, and it's been right here in our face the whole time. I'm not up for debate with these people. You want to use Saturday? Baruch Hashem that we know it's a Sabbath. Some people get in debates and want to argue. Man, you do the best you can with your understanding. Huh?
Who are you? All I got is, I'm looking at the screen, at the shades.
Did it go up? We just left that up.
What does it say on his screen now? What is he seeing?
No, we're just going to use
I'm seeing this, blinds.
blinds. Oh, the camera's on. The screen share stopped. He sees the blinds.
Oh, okay.
It don't matter, Elder. I think we're done with the screen share for now. I'll pull up something later. So now let's get the rhythm of Passover of Shabbat. Let's go to Exodus 16. Let's go to Exodus 16 and 1. Exodus 16 and 1. Exodus 16 and 1. Shema. Read.
And they took their journey from Elim And all the congregation of the children of Israel came unto the wilderness of Sin, which is between Elam and Sinai, on the 15th day of the second month, after their departing out of the land of Egypt.
So this is written in Elizabethan English, archaic English, but that phrase, they took their journey, meaning they're stopping. They're stopping from their journey on the 15th of the second month. It's the 15th of the second month, and they're stopping because it's the Shabbat. They're stopping because it's the Shabbat. And you can see this rhythm all throughout the Old Testament. We just, in church, we don't learn our culture, so no one knew our rhythm. But Baruch Hashem, for righteous teachers, we can see our Sabbath rhythm. So this is the first time it's mentioned. Let's drop down to verse 22. Verse 22. 16 and 22. Shema. Read.
And it came to pass that on the 6th day they gathered twice as much bread, 2 omers for one man. And all the rulers of the congregation came and told Moses.
So I just said on the 15th they stopped because it's the Sabbath. They're complaining about bread. The Most High rained down manna. The Most High told them, gather your manna. On the 6th day, gather twice as much because the next day is Shabbat. What's 15 plus 6?
21.
So if the next day is Shabbat, what's the Shabbat falling on?
What is it?
8, 15, 22nd, 29. That's our Sabbath rhythm. It's been right in front of our face, but we've been forced to be Christians. We were threatened to be Christians under the sword. So this ain't no blame game. If you don't know, you don't know. But always remain humble and coachable and teachable. We don't know. We're children of the slaves, y'all. Let's get it again. Let's get it again. Exodus 19, 1 to 2. Exodus 19, 1 to 2. This is what Bereans do. Exodus 19, verses 1 through 2. Shema. Read.
In the 3rd month, when the children of Israel were gone forth out of the land of Egypt, the same day came they into the wilderness of Sinai.
So what this is saying in our day, it says now it's the 3rd month since we left Egypt. And on the same day we left Egypt, we're coming to another stop. So we left Egypt on the 15th of Abib after we had our first Passover. So what this is saying, now the 3rd month, on the same day we left Egypt on the 15th. So this is the 3rd day of the 15th. We're stopping again because it's a Sabbath. It's a Sabbath. So, hallelujah. Verse 2.
For they were departed from Rephidim and were come to the desert of Sinai and had pitched in the wilderness, and there Israel camped before the mount.
That's plain to see. They pitch, they stop on the 15th. Now, I got to pull up another one up. Go see if you can pull up a tab and antiquities of the Jews. Just, you know what? It's on my, I'm sorry, it's on my computer. So, we got 2 copies. I got a copy here. I'll pull it up, the PDF. Again, Josephus and Philo are 2 invaluable resources. But again, you got to filter everything. Josephus is a Levite, but he's a Pharisee. So when he talks about the Messiah, he talks about him not as the Savior, because he was one of the Pharisees. But his records of what's going on is accurate. So I'm going to pull up the PDF, and we're going to read Josephus verifying that we left Egypt on the 15th. And I guess this might be it, because it's too long than I thought. We'll have to continue with day and night. Day don't start in the evening. I'll show you one verse right in the text, but I'm getting tired myself. I'll show you right in the text, and the scripture that was referenced last week, it had it in there. It's plain to see that day don't start at New Evening doesn't start there.
That's crazy. They look like a white. They don't be just straight up and down like.
The curses.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, he probably didn't even wear a hat that looked like that. Right? That hat don't even look like it fit.
Is Josephus up on the screen?
Yes.
Can you navigate?
Oh, yeah, I'm sorry. Ben.
We want to navigate to
Okay, they got a table of contents here.
what book is there? The picture of my son. It's
Chapter 15,
book
book 2, chapter 15.
book 2:15. So go to book 2 and scroll down to 15 and just the second paragraph. 15, chapter 15, and then 2. We're going to establish the Sabbath rhythm. I'll show you like 2 verses about the evening doesn't start a day, and we're going to just take Q&A because it's
Okay, so you're in paragraph 2 here, that's what you got highlighted.
yeah.
Okay.
So this is Josephus' record confirming that we left Egypt on the 15th, which was a Shabbat. Read.
You want to blow it up for them?
Yeah. Can you please?
Yeah, hold on. Can they see it out? Can they confirm it?
Elder, is the screen still sharing?
Yeah.
All praises, hallelujah.
All right. They left Egypt in the month of Xanthicus on the 15th day of the lunar month, 430.
I can't see it.
It's not sharing. I might have started and stopped again.
Okay.
Limited by technology.
All right. So the
Us back over here.
yeah, back over there.
Is it up, sis?
Yes, I can see it now.
All praises.
They left Egypt in the month of Xanthicus on the 15th day of the lunar month, 430 years after our forefather Abraham came into Canaan.
So Josephus wrote his record after he moved to Rome and he took on the Flavius name. He took on the Flavius name and he recorded all the histories. He was an eyewitness account. So the Greek name of the month is Xanthicus. But you see how he points out it was the 15th on the lunar month? Because he letting you know that I'm a Hebrew and I know my people, we reckon our time by the month. So he's confirming our ancestors left Egypt on the 15th of the lunar month, and every Israelite would have knew we left on the Shabbat. Again, being a legalist, well, you're not allowed to travel on the Shabbat. The Most High told me to leave, genius. Check the spirit of everything. Check the spirit of everything. So Josephus confirms we left Ramses, the city of Ramses, or Egypt on the 15th. It was a Shabbat. Let's get another witness. Let's get, go back to Numbers 33. Let's go back to Numbers 33. Numbers 33 and 3. Shema. You know what? Started at verse 2, so we can get this understanding.
Shema.
This is Numbers 33 and 2, 2 to 3. Read.
And Moses wrote their goings out according to their journeys by the commandment of Yah. And these are their journeys according to their goings out. And they departed from Ramses in the first month, on the 15th day of the first month. On the morrow after the Passover, the children of Israel went out with a high hand in the sight of all the Egyptians.
So again, he's establishing we left Ramses, or the city of Ramses, known as Goshen, on the 15th, which is Shabbat, and it's also the day after is the 16th, which is the first day of unleavened bread. So every 15th for us on the first month is a Sabbath, but it's a high Sabbath because what?
Because it's a feast and
A high Sabbath means it's a lunar Sabbath, and our feast day falls on the Sabbath. So every month, we don't care about Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. That's Babylonian. We say 1, 2, 3. Once we establish our calendar, the 14th is Pesach. The 15th we know is a Shabbat, and it's a high Shabbat because we start 7 days of unleavened bread. So once we establish our Shabbat rhythm, 8, 15, 22, 29, now it's a simple math problem. If the beginning of the week is starting The beginning of the week after Passover starts on the 16th. The beginning of the week is the 16th. Our mothers come and says, "Where have you taken my king?" It's the beginning of the week. He's gone. No, they're coming in the beginning of the week. Their Sabbath is past.
That's right.
Now, the beginning of the week, they're at the tomb saying, "Where is our Savior?"
Yeah.
So now it's just a math game. The beginning of the week starts on the 16th. 16 minus 3 is 13. If you put the Messiah on the cross on the 14th, 14 plus 3 is 17. It's just a math game. Again, this is us being indoctrinated with this Christianity, all these movies and Passover. And when you open that book up, open it up for a relationship, not for the knowledge. Because I hadn't seen this all the years, and I've been going hard for about 4 years in the understanding that I'm Israel, I'm going to teach. But I've been studying for a long, never seen this. Because we're still, you might not want to admit it, you still have Christian ways in you. So once you establish our rhythm, 8, 15, 22, 29, you can't put him on the cross on the 14th. You can't put him on the cross on the 14th. So the last thing to go over, and I promise y'all to treat, because I want you to download and read the rest of this Hebrew scroll, is this evening starts a new day, sundown to sundown. It's not original. Let's go back to Exodus 32 and 5. Let's go back to Exodus 32 and 5. We're children of the slaves doing the best we can, y'all. Exodus 32 and 5. Shema. That's not the one I want, is it? I'm sorry, that's not the one I want. It's 12 and 5. Exodus 12 and 5. I'm sorry, it's locked in. Exodus 12 and 5. Exodus 12 and 5. Read.
Your lamb shall be without blemish, a male of the first year. You shall take it out from the sheep or from the goats, and you shall keep it until the 14th day of the same month. And the whole assembly of the congregation of Israel shall kill it in the evening.
So we're keeping it to the 14th. And the evening comes, if the evening starts a new day, that's the 15th. It's a math problem. The evening doesn't start a new day. That's a doctrine that's continuing being taught, and it doesn't line up with our culture. Now I got a bunch of precepts, but we've been going too long. The evening doesn't start a new day. Let's get one more, and we'll continue this next week if you need some more precepts, but this is already going longer than I thought. All right, let's go to Genesis 1. Let's go to Genesis 1 to the creation account. Let's go to Genesis 1 to the creation account. This is Genesis 1, and let's pick it up 2. Genesis 1 and 2. Genesis 1 and 2. Read.
And the earth was without form and void, and darkness was upon the face of the deep, and the Spirit of God moved upon the face of the waters. And God said, let there be light, and there was light. And God saw the light, that it was good. And God divided the light from the darkness. And God called the light day, and the darkness he called night. And the evening and the morning were the first day.
So all these assemblies, and I don't follow the crowd. I never did when I was a sinner. I'm doing my own thing, and that's just the way I'm built. So I really don't follow the crowd. If you need numbers, then you're going to run amok. Look how many Christians talking about hallelujah, praise God. Kanye is a Christian. I don't follow the crowd. But the crowd says this verse verifies that evening starts a day. But again, using their dirty language, an evening and the morning were the first day. That's past tense. It's already past. He created that great light. Evening and morning came, and the light's back. That was the first day. Does it make sense? Well, let's continue on. Let's go to verse 6.
And Yah said, let there be a firmament in the midst of the waters, and let it divide the waters from the waters. And Yah made the firmament, and divided the waters which were under the firmament from the waters which were above the firmament, and it was so.
Verse 8.
And Yah called the firmament heaven, and the evening and the morning were the second day.
Did he create the firmament on the first day or the second day? Did he create the firmament on the first day or second day? If you read it as evening's coming first, then he made the firmament on the second day. I'm sorry, if you read the evening comes first, then the firmament was created on the first day. So what day was light created then? On day 0? On day 0? It doesn't line up. It doesn't line up. And since we already opened this can of worms, let's go back to Deuteronomy. Let's go back to Deuteronomy 16:4. Deuteronomy 16:4. Then I'm gonna show you where the tradition came that the evening starts today, and then we'll take Q&A.
Shema.
Shema,
Shema.
read.
And there shall be no leavened bread seen with thee all thy coast 7 days. Neither shall there anything of the flesh which thou sacrificest the first day at even remain all night until the morning.
All night to the morning. We got confusion here. Yah's not the author of confusion. If he's saying whatever you sacrifice on that first day evening, nothing should remain all night to the morning. Well, even starting a new day, it's morning. It doesn't line up. It doesn't line. Just because the masses are saying it, don't make it true. That strength in numbers is a lie, because according to our scrolls, Gideon took nations with what? 300?
300, yeah.
The Most High don't care about numbers. I don't run with numbers. The Torah group, we standing alone. We're standing alone. So this day this evening starting a new day don't line up. So we're here. If you need something to break, go eat. I took the time to do this, so let's go to Enoch 72. Let's go to Enoch 72. This is the luminary. You got your copy? This is Enoch 72. I'll get on the screen if you don't have a copy. Can you navigate?
Yeah. You want a new tab?
Yeah, it should be in history.
Couple of codes, a couple of users.
We're going to go over Enoch 72. Now, I promised a treat for y'all. I'm going to give you a treat.
I have a tab for you. It's in person.
Enoch 72 coming up.
Yeah.
Let's go to Enoch 72, and this is Enoch's record of the luminaries. And Enoch is a more trustworthy witness, because Enoch's records are older than Moses' records. So this is Enoch 72. And we're going to go over just the first 2 verses.
And, okay, let me blow it up quick. This translation is the same.
Is it the pseudepigrapha? Some of them read differently.
Yeah, right. So I can see if this is the same.
All we need is the first two verses.
Okay. This one, this one reads differently.
Mama, mama, mama.
Yeah, this is not the right, this is not the right one.
This is not the right one.
Yeah, I'll go back.
What's your one? I got the this should be in my history. We got the right one. Oh yeah, no, not that one, not that one. Go back up. No, go down. It's gonna be in purple,
It's first thing now.
right there.
This one.
Pseudepigrapha.
Okay, gotcha.
And go to chapter 72. The luminaries.